Hello, friends.
Hi, friends. Happy to be here. Hope you are
I
too.
I'm well rested. Life is good. We're not sick. Knock on wood. Here we are, making a rhyme all the time.
I
But
mean, life is pretty decent, right?
I mean, except for aliens and
No, no, no.
toxic
I'm
waste.
choosing ignorance, my friend. I for so long, for the past like 4 years, have chose to be so aware of everything. And you know what? I'm choosing ignorance. I don't know if it's aliens or Russia or China or all of them. I don't care. I don't want to know. How's that?
She's
Don't want
done.
to know
She's
right
done.
now.
She's done
I'm
with that.
done. Mm-mm.
Anyway, we've got a great show for you today. First, we are talking about your kid's first crush. And we're talking like first crush. Like
I remember mine.
early. Joe Scullion.
Justin, no. What was his name? Why am I spacing? Oh my God, I'm so disappointed in myself. I don't know, but I used to chase him around the pre-K classroom trying to give him a kiss.
Mine was Joe Scullion hardcore for years, like for
I
years
was
and
always a
years and
hoe.
years.
Yeah.
So Valentine's Day has passed, but we're actually recording this on Valentine's Day. We're batching, guys. That's an industry term. So this seems just right for today.
That's showbiz, baby. Then we're talking moms who medicate, and we are not talking about the ones that your psychiatrist is giving you, which are the ones I'm on. Well, maybe. I don't know. The pros, the cons, and the dangers.
And as always, we have our hashtag swag bag. And up next, take it away, kiddo.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. Tits, I love Orange Theory. I hate to
That's
say it.
great.
I hate to say it. I love it. I was away for kind of a long time because I was sick. I'm doing it twice a week. I like challenging myself. I feel good. Today, I noted that my heart rate recovery was so much better than it was when I first started, which is why I came. I really love it. And also, the play is coming together. Like, there's actual acting going on stage. Like, I'm seeing it's not
Wow.
happening all the time, but I'm seeing little bursts of actual acting for these sixth graders. And I don't know how to tell you that that's a rare thing. And it's just very exciting. Very exciting.
I'm excited to see it.
Thank you. My tits are twofold. One, Tech Week is killing me. We have 3 weeks of Tech Week because
You mean your shits?
Yeah, my shits. I have I'm in Tech Week. We have 3 weeks of Tech Week because the kids run the show. They run the soundboard. They do the sets and everything. So we need 3 weeks instead of 1. And then the big shits is I got a straight freak masturbator on my hand. My child is a nonstop masturbator. The school called me. She can't stop rubbing her vagina on a chair. Now, I did that too, but it was like first or second grade. This kid's in pre-K. She is flicking the bean constantly. It's red and sore. I've had to have so many talks about it with her, and she goes, I just can't stop. I just can't stop. I'm like, you have to. 1, your vagina is literally going to fall off. It's so red and sore. 2, you can't do it in school. Like, at this point, like, I'm not a slut shamer by any means. You guys know that. But I'm like borderline. One day this is when I was still sick. She just wouldn't stop. I was like, stop. I asked you, dear God, please stop. And then she was sneaking, doing it on my mom's leg. And my mom's like, oh, she's so nervous. I'm like, Mom, she's masturbating on your leg. My mom was like, ah, I don't
She
know
was
what
like
to do.
humping her like a
she
dog.
like rocks.
Oh my God.
And it's constant. It's not.
I don't even, this is so beyond anything I've had to deal with.
School was like, we deal with this all the time, but your kids doing it a lot. We have to have a conversation.
So what do you do? Do you take her to like a child psychologist?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know what to do.
Maybe you have to slut shame her. Maybe like slut shaming, like you know, we're not like that here at Momtourage, but maybe it needs to happen a little bit.
I don't even know. I don't know how to handle it. I've tried handling it every other way. I've tried. I don't want to slut shame her. I'm just like, it's okay, but like, you can't do it in public. And she's like, but I can't stop. I have to do it. I was like, there's a time and a place. But also, I've heard that Scorpios are horny as fuck. And I was nervous about this, which is why my doctor was like, do you want to be induced a couple weeks early? And I'm just like, I am at a loss. I don't know what to do. I'm like, so now I'm just ignoring it for a little while because I'm exhausted. So I'm just ignoring it for a little while because I'm like, I've been trying to deal with it. And I'm just like,
you Googled it?
No, I haven't Googled it. I've just been trying to pretend it's not happening for a little bit.
I feel like Google child chronic masturbation is probably going to put you on some kind of like swap list that you don't want to be
But
on.
also like at age 4?
Yeah, it's a lot. Maybe a child psychologist is the way to go. I don't know.
I mean, I think she needs a child psychologist anyway because of her like chronic picking her nails too. But I'm just
maybe this is another outlet of that.
I don't know. I think it is like an anxiety thing. I do think it's an anxiety thing.
I don't think it's a sex thing. I mean,
no,
what the fuck do I know?
I think it relaxes her. I mean, girl, I know, but I think it relaxes her. But like Lee's like, I don't want my kid to go to a child psychologist this early. Like, I don't want her to stigmatize her. I'm like, it's
would you rather she's just masturbating on her grandmother? You prefer that, Lee?
That's the title of this episode, masturbating on your grandmother.
Like, oh my God.
So that's it. That's all I got going on.
Cool. That's fun. All right. I don't know how to follow that up. I'll start with my tits. I feel so weird just talking about Sebastian after all that. Sebastian had a really big...
I just spilled water all over me.
You're right. Big, good week. He got a great report card, which, by the way, I don't know if this is just kindergarten or what, but like grades are not A, B, C, D.
I know. That's how it is at the school that I work at too.
It's the like, E and the S and
yes, like, it's weird.
What the fuck is this?
I don't know.
They redid math and now they just redid grades. I was just gonna say
it's like new math.
Oh my God. Well, he got a lot of E's, so that's good. And
for
then
anything
for exceeding something,
expectations,
exceeding the norm, whatever that. Yeah, sure. And then S is like
satisfactory.
Yeah, but it's like continues to do satisfactory work. I guess it's a B. I don't know. He doesn't seem like a B student though. I maybe that's why they did it away with that. I don't really know. Anyway, he lost his first tooth.
I know, that was shocking. It happened so quickly.
It was
loose
so
at the show, and then it just went.
He just went, my tooth hurts. And he like pushed it and we were like, oh my God, you have your first loose tooth. And then within like, I think
24
a day and a half,
hours.
2 days.
It was literally like 24 hours.
Yeah, he pulled it out. And I just can't believe it happened so quickly. And he really, really, really wanted to be student of the month and he got it.
I mean, I was nervous about what would happen if he didn't because he was really talking it up.
He was like, one day, all of a sudden, he was like, oh, tomorrow is the day that they announced student of the week. It's going to be me. And I was like, okay, do you know it's going to be you?
Maybe they hinted. Maybe they hinted at it kind of.
He said no. He said no. I think he was just like feeling it. And I was just, all I could think is, oh my God, if this kid doesn't get student of the month, this is going to be his first heartbreak. And I don't know how to handle that other than this is life, honey. You don't know, like I know we always talk about not wanting to be the kind of parents who give their kids trophies for participating. But at the same token, like when you come face to face with disappointment in your kids, you're like, maybe I should just go out and buy you a trophy just in case so that you got one anyway.
You're my student of the month.
Yeah, like I really was eating my words is all I can say.
I'm glad you didn't have to figure that out yet.
Me too. My shits
Meanwhile, I'm dealing with a chronic masturbator. Very different experience.
2 very different parenting experiences right now. In other news, he was still a pain in my ass. That entire, like, he was not the nicest to me. And usually he calls me his angel and like he loves me, like usually he's all about his mama. And that week that all this went down, he was like kind of mean to me.
Maybe the celebrity is really getting to him.
Maybe he was just like too big for his britches. I mean, I talked to you guys about him being overconfident and I had to talk to him about like, people aren't dumb. They're just not as advanced as you sometimes. And like, you can't just call them dumb because of that. That's really insulting.
That is not student of the month behavior.
Yeah. But he did say, Mama, he asked me some question that was like, easy for me that I knew the answer. And I forgot what it was. It was something like trivial.
Right.
And he goes, Mama, you're very smart. You're so smart. You're smarter than me. And I was like, well, you're 5. And you're really smart, so
a college education.
Like, I literally am a college graduate, but okay.
Although there might be a time pretty soon that he might be smarter than you, you know?
And I said that. I was like, in like 2 years, you're going to be smarter than me. It's fine. You already know left from right, and that's a big step ahead of mommy.
Yeah, we're not there yet, really.
The other thing is, this year's my 20th high school reunion.
Oh, I went to mine.
I know. I remember we were recording the show. No, it wasn't your 20th. It couldn't have been your 20th.
No, I missed the 20th. It was
What's
the 25th.
The one you went to last year?
Oh, God. I graduated high school in 1996.
So I guess 20. I graduated in 2003. So
I don't know. I can't math. Someone do math.
9,
Call Sebastian to do the math for us.
Wait. What was it? 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. So it's 7 years later. Wait.
We're so dumb.
Oh my God.
So
feel free to leave that in. And my 5-year-old is smarter than me.
We are so dumb. I can't.
From the beginning, we've said math is not our strong suit.
I can't even figure out what reunion it is, for Christ's sakes.
Anyway, I graduated high school
in
2003. And this will be my 20th high school reunion. I can't believe I'm this old. And because I went to such a small, there were 16 kids in my graduating class.
So weird.
We have a podcaster. We have a U.S. congressman.
Are you the podcaster or is it somebody else?
Yes. Also, Ezra Miller is a Hudson School alumni.
Oh.
We don't talk about him. He was not in my grade, but in my grade we have some like pretty successful stuff and like a lot of people that are like real intellectual, like
actual smart people.
Yeah, like study native cultures in like Uruguay and write books on it. Like real fucking smart ass people. And I'm like, I do on my podcast. But because I went to such a small school, we're basically on our own. Like there's no committee. So 2 girls that I was friends with and still am very friendly with reached out. They reached out to me and my frenemy that I've talked about for so many years, my childhood best friend.
Yes.
And all 4 of us are on an Instagram DM and they were like, hey, we want to plan it, blah, 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 blah. And all of us responded except for my childhood best friend. And I am already spiraling kind of because of it, because I'm sitting here like, is it because of me? Like, because I've moved on, and in my mind, I'm really excited to potentially see her and like see how her life is and catch up. Maybe she doesn't want to do it because of me, and it's putting me back.
Probably not about you.
Of course, it's not about me because not everything in the world is about me.
I was just saying, I'm not trying to be like, no,
I know, neither am I. I think you're honest. I think you're right. But I mean,
obviously I'm right. I'm always right.
I just think it's crazy that like 20 years later and this subject, and I'm like going right back to high school thought patterns, and I don't like that. So work to be done there. Good thing I've therapied this afternoon.
Anyway. Segment one.
You're leading this.
All right. So this is a New York Times article, the paper of record, about the child's first crush. Okay. So first of all, the woman who wrote the article talked about her child being in kindergarten, just to give you guys kind of some scope, and falling in love.
Sebastian, where he is.
Falling in love, and even like with somebody talking about how she was like, love this boy, and even dreaming of her wedding, like talking about her girlfriend with her other little girlfriends.
That was me in kindergarten. His name was Daniel Cohen.
Oh, there we go. So see,
the one I was talking about before was pre-K.
Mine was still Joe Scullion all the way through for like 20 years.
Yeah.
So she was like, this seems a little early. I'm like, I'm a little bit nervous. So she consulted with experts in sexual health, elementary school education, and psychology. And all of them said that this type of behavior is perfectly normal, but children may need guidance from their parents to navigate their newfound feelings. Now, this hit different because of Luna's masturbation and her telling me that she's married to Ryan and that she likes Ryan because he's bad on the playground but nice in school. I'm like, oh my God, don't do that. And then she goes, Ryan,
take her to a child psychologist. That was enough for me. Take her, please don't let her be into bad guys.
Like, oh boy. Anyway,
Keri, fix your child, please. Don't let. Who's gonna? Not that your child needs to be fixed. I didn't mean it like that.
you
I
know
was
who?
joking.
We'll get into it because I have some both serious and funny comments coming. But let me get through the details of this article. Okay, so first of all, what we traditionally think of as a crush, that like intense infatuation with someone, usually happens to older children, kind of like undergoing puberty, and it's a
Not
safe
me.
way for them to explore their newfound feelings. When
I was boy crazy. I think pretty much as soon as I came out of a vagina, I was like,
But-
who's a boy and who can I like?
well, we're going to go into the different kinds of
Okay.
crushes. So when
Okay.
elementary age kids talk about crushes, it's a little bit different. It's more akin to admiration, but because of outside influences, adults, media, whatever, they see it through the lens of romance. But it's honestly more their way of exploring kind of like complex relationships and complex feelings about things. The one thing we don't want to do is dismiss your child's crush as silly or trivial. What they are experiencing is real and can feel and be very powerful. It's passionate, but in a platonic sense. So I'm already doing all of these things wrong. So this is what I'm doing wrong. Focus on the friendship rather than teasing them or even being playful about a budding romance.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely doing that wrong.
Yeah, me too. This teaches them the importance of friendship and sets the foundation for future healthy romantic relationships and helps them fixate less on like adult rituals like marriage and kissing, right? Doing that wrong. Instead of, that's so cute, do you want to marry Tim one day? Say things that are like, what is it that you like about Timmy? Do you want to have a play date? Like I have asked, like, what do you like about Ryan? That's when she said, because he's a bad boy on the playground and nice and cool. Also, he has a lot of other girlfriends. That was the other thing she liked about him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And you know who told me Luna and Ryan were married? Her best friend, Eva. I didn't even hear it from Luna.
Oh, my God. You are in so much trouble.
So much trouble.
So you're going to have to send her to boarding school.
Lee was like, I'm glad I'm going to be like 90 when she goes through puberty.
Honestly, if I were Lee, I'd feel the same way. I'd be like, I want to be as close to my deathbed
like,
as this girl becomes a teenager.
I don't have to take up hard drugs. Anyway, so it also, they say, refrain from assigning adult labels to their relationships. Like, is this your new boyfriend? I'm already doing that wrong. I say that she's going to marry both Sebi and Atticus. Idealizing these kinds of relationship dynamics can suggest that these relationships are critical to being happy and complete as a person. And it also really reinforces traditional gender roles. So doing that wrong, great.
Yep.
Also, ask open-ended questions. First of all, that's just like a blank statement for kids everywhere. Always ask open-ended questions to kids. But
what's the difference? Can you give me an example, and maybe this is really dumb, of an open-ended question as opposed to a close-ended question?
Do you like Timmy?
Is close-ended.
Close-ended. What does it mean for you to have a crush on Timmy? What does it feel like?
So something where it's close-ended would be yes or no questions.
Kind
basically.
of, yeah. Or like, yeah.
Okay.
So what does that feel like to feel that way, you know, whatever. Maybe share a story from when you were younger. Like to say, this is,
one time when I was 4, I masturbated
finger
on my
banged.
grandmother's leg.
Something like that, you know. Make sure you're not shutting them down. If you laugh or mock or downplay it at 5, they will remember it at 15.
Jeez,
that put me in my grave. That one right there put me in my grave. That basically something you do wrong at 5, they will remember at 15. I was like, great. I'm going to start drinking right now. I was like, pour me a stiff one. Use it as an opportunity to discuss consent. I have done this a little bit. Consider how it might make the other person feel chasing them around, for instance. So she was just saying that her daughter was like going around and like trying to kiss on the cheek this boy, and he wasn't really into it, right? So instead say, consider how it might make the other person feel like you keep chasing them around, for instance. We always want to make other people feel safe. Keep it light. Kids at that age are still learning how to respect other people's boundaries, including personal space. And just say, you know, you ask for permission and then you have to respect the answer that you receive, right? Ask the kids to pay attention how their friend is feeling. What did their body language say? What did their body language say? What did their faces convey? And finally, what were they saying verbally? I think that's just like a great thing, even for adults to remember, to be like, how's their body language? Like,
I mean, teaching kids to read social cues is like probably one of the least cut and dry challenges parents have.
I like that, though. I never thought about it that way.
I think it's a great idea. It's just like, when I know that's something where Sebastian would be like, well, what do you mean? And then that's like, that's one of those things that's hard to teach. It doesn't mean it's not important to teach. It's just more challenging.
You just reminded me, I'm going to have 2 swag bags because I have a book about feelings that we got for Luna that kind of helps address that. Like, like that kind of like social cues kind of thing.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I love it. And if a child tries to kiss another child, remind them that this type of behavior is actually safe for adults. Instead, them more to like, that's great, you like this person and you want to explore that friendship, but that's not how you show them when you're 6 years old.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good tip.
Yeah. You could be like, hold their hand or ask them if they want to hold hands or give them a hug or and then respect the answer.
It's again not appropriate.
Right. Try role playing to have them practice boundaries. Remind them that it's okay also to tell someone else not to touch them. Right? That they have those boundaries themselves. So first of all, I would just like to say that my daughter's main crushes, aside from Ryan, who she's already married to, but she says she wants to have lots of husbands and wives when she grows up. And I was like, cool. But no children. That's what she said. Her first...
I mean, I agree with her on these things. Yeah. These talking points.
Her first main crush is the gecko guy.
Right.
And she has...
a gecko.
Yeah, she has a framed picture of him. And every time we see him, she is like, that's my boyfriend. And my mom has taken to sending Valentine's Day, Christmas, Easter cards from the gecko guy. And Luna thinks it's really the gecko guy. And she's like, he's my boyfriend. He's very famous. I hardly ever see him. So there's that. Does anyone else have someone who is in love with the gecko guy? Is it weird? My child is very odd. That's for sure. And then Atticus and Sebastian. And Sebastian, it's like they're like an old married couple. They have a very weird relationship.
I think you might actually, like, we teeter, you and I both teeter every time we see them together where it's like, they might just be brother and sister.
Yeah, we're not sure. It's a very flowers in the attic kind of situation.
We're not really sure where this relationship is going. And maybe even just thinking about it goes against what this article...
Basically, that's exactly. Thinking about it is going against this article, basically.
I mean, I got to tell you, yesterday
How about Maya? Is he still into Maya?
Maya's out of the picture because she no longer goes to school.
Oof. Replaced.
Occasionally he'll talk about her, but no. I mean, so this is what I was saying yesterday. We were filling out Valentine's to bring into school today.
Oh, God, I didn't even think about that. She's going to have a Valentine's Day from Ryan today. Great. To deal with that later.
Like, he talks about girls in his class, and I'll say, like, there's this girl, Amy, and he says that Amy's the prettiest girl in the class, but he doesn't say, like, he doesn't talk about having a crush on anyone, even Maya. Like, he doesn't really say he has a girlfriend. I don't know if he's just not there, or my concern is that he doesn't want to talk about it with mommy, or daddy, that's what concerns me, is that he wouldn't want to talk about it.
Not like Luna. She's like, hey, I rub my vagina on everything. Hey, people. She's telling everyone.
Honestly, he might just not be in that phase. Like, maybe just because I was boy crazy my entire life doesn't mean that he necessarily is. And I'll say, like, oh, is Amy your girlfriend? Like, I'll say, like, do you have... I know. Well, now I know. I didn't know that. I'll say, like, do you have a crush on Amy? And he'll say, like, what's a crush? Every time I ask, what's a crush? And I say, well, it's when you like someone the way that mommy and daddy like each other.
It's when you crush someone with your love and, and attack them with your love.
He won't fess up to it. So I don't know. He'll say, like, oh, Amy's my best friend. And like, she's one of my best friends at school.
He's
and
like,
she's
try
pretty.
To keep it. He's like, I read the New York Times article, Mom. Try to keep it healthy. I can read.
I read Mom, it. I have boundaries. Okay? I know you don't know left from right, bitch, but I have boundaries.
You may or may not be smarter than me. The jury's out.
Remember that time you and Keri tried to do math about your high school reunion? Okay, well, let's remember that. I'm smarter than you, mother. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I hope it's that I'm making a bigger thing of something.
Right.
And he's just not there, as opposed to...
You're hoping we're just bad parents and not that he's being secretive.
Yeah. Like, yeah. I just... Because for me, it's so... I really want to have a relationship where he could talk to me about anything. And
we've talked about that, yeah.
Yeah, and I just think it's fun. I want to know. Like, for me, it's just gossip like anything else. So I just want to know.
He's not into that.
Maybe he's just not feeling the feelings. I don't know. He
Also,
talks about
he
girls
doesn't have
being
to
pretty
know
and
right
stuff.
now. I mean, he's like
100%, and that's the point of all of it, right?
Right.
Is he like, this is not a thing
issue.
he needs
It's
to
like
have
a
an answer
non-issue.
for. Exactly.
Right.
It's just me being a gossipy bitch and being like, tell me what's up. I want to know. Mommy wants to chit chat.
Well, I am that way too, which is exactly why I had this article, because I'm like, we're doing it all wrong.
I
Okay?
know. Well,
we're
I'm glad we know
doing it
now.
all wrong. So now we know. We still might continue to do it wrong and forget, but then we just have we know.
We have some guidance now.
We know. All right, moving on. Are you ready? I'm going to lead this one too.
I'm ready.
This is a big one.
Okay.
Yeah. So I drew from a couple articles, and also, spoiler alert, these articles are interesting to me. Very interesting to me. And please follow our Patreon, because I will be posting some content that I would like behind a paywall, kind of about my interest in this. So if you too are interested, please go onto our Patreon and you can see a little bit more on this subject. Okay. So I drew from two places, the New York Times and the Washington Post. What the New York Times article is around psychedelic therapy, ketamine, mushrooms, like what's it about? What are the risks? What are the benefits? And the Washington Post article was microdosing mushrooms for anxiety and depression in mothers. Okay. So first of all, many moms are microdosing mushrooms. It's like a trend. Many are using it in hopes of treating depression, anxiety, and trauma. And they feel more comfortable taking something natural, I put that in quotes, such as a psilocybin, which they don't have to take every day, like an SSRI.
When you say that that's natural, what is that? Is that
because it's
from
a
plant?
Yes, mushrooms.
Okay, so okay, that's what I'm asking.
Psilocybin is mushrooms.
Got it. Okay. You got to talk to me again. I'm not smarter than a kindergartner.
Okay, so, great. So, and I'll get a little bit into why you don't have to take them
I don't know my
day.
drugs as well as you.
So SSRIs are serotonin receptor.
Lexapro, Prozac,
right.
Stuff like that.
So microdosing, again, I'm talking to you like you're a kindergarten, is taking 5 to 10% of a full dose. And by full dose, we mean like they call it the hero's journey or heroic dose. It's like tripping.
When you take it to get fucked up.
Right, to trip. Right. Okay. A full dose is 2 to 6 grams, and a microdose is more like 100 milligrams, and it's only taken every 48 to 72 hours. How they recommend it, if you're microdosing, is you take for a couple days, and then you take a break. And then you take for a couple days, and you take a break. Okay?
Do you feel anything while you're microdosing?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Mushrooms are only legal in Oregon and Colorado. Many states have decriminalized them, but it is still illegal, aside from Oregon and Colorado, to buy, sell, or consume mushrooms, or magic mushrooms, so to speak.
So decriminalizing it means it's not legal, but you won't
go to jail. Correct.
Got it.
Perinatal mood concerns, such as anxiety and depression, affect up to 20% of new mothers. I'm just going to go through because this is like a real serious medical situation, I'm going to go through like a bunch of details, and then we'll kind of get more into the touchy-feely of it all. Okay? So psychedelics are not accepted as robust evidence-based treatment for these disorders, but many psychiatrists are looking very forward to having psilocybin as a legal medical option to offer women who are not helped by SSRIs. Now, Johns Hopkins University has been doing a huge study on psilocybin and ketamine for people with like major PTSD and trauma, like Vietnam vets or vets of any kind or whatever. And it is showing pretty amazing results, but that is really done. It's not microdosing, it's full dosing, and it's done in front of a therapist talking you through it. Okay. I keep saying, okay. Microdosing can help people, but that doesn't mean that the mushrooms do the work for you. There is no magic pill or plant that helps you bypass the healing of childhood trauma or any trauma or symptoms of anxiety and depression.
That's a very good point to make.
Yes. But this sacred medicine, when used with intention, respect, and care, can powerfully support your paths to healing and evolution. So it's sort of like you got to be doing some other work as well. It's not just going to clear everything up.
Truth.
You know, you got to do the work too.
I mean, but there is no magic. Like, as of right now, that's
Some
the
people
case with
do.
all medication.
I know, but some people do use SSRIs and then don't go to a therapist. I feel very strongly about that. I feel very strongly about you should not be taking any kind of drug that you get from your psychiatrist without also seeing a psychologist. I firmly believe in that, but a lot of people do.
Drug from your psychologist without seeing a psychiatrist.
Nope. Your psychologist cannot prescribe drugs. Your psychiatrist can.
Okay, I got confused.
So you should not get drugs from your psychiatrist without going to a psychologist. Because some people talk to their psychiatrist, but really the psychiatrist is there to diagnose and give you the right drugs and check in. They're not really there for talk therapy. Talk therapy is done with a social worker or a psychologist.
Right.
Okay. So I personally, being very well versed in this world, think that you should not be on any kind of medication unless you're also doing talk therapy. That's how I feel.
Agreed. Okay. I agree.
I mean,
you're just numbing things as opposed to actually trying to solve a problem.
I mean, I think if you have psychosis, then maybe just the medicine will help, but someone should be monitoring that pretty closely. Right. Okay, so
like I don't know when the last time I talked to what's the one that gives you meds?
Psychiatrist.
Yeah, I don't know when the last time I talked to my psychiatrist was.
Yeah.
And honestly, like she's not a good psychiatrist and I would not recommend her. I don't know when my next appointment is. I don't think I have one. I don't know when the last one is.
Well,
however, I see my psychologist. I can't get it straight. I see my therapist. Yeah, I see my therapist every other week.
Well, you guys know how I feel about Fran. I love Fran to the depths of my being. But I had a really good psychiatrist in the city, but I hated talking to her. But she was so good at finding the exact right mix or dosage. She was like the queen of chemistry. She really was. But I didn't really like talking to her. But I didn't need to because I had Fran. You know, I did like that she was like the queen of the right cocktail. She really was on the cusp of
that's helpful.
Yeah. Queen of cocktail. Who doesn't like that? She was also Basquiat's longtime girlfriend and owns the largest collection of Basquiat. So she's
that's fun.
Fucking fabulous. And she's in all the Studio 54 documentaries. Anyway, she's fabulous. Okay.
No wonder she knows the right combination of
cocktails,
the right cocktails of drugs.
Listen, I trust that woman.
I agree. She's been on them all, I'm sure.
I wouldn't trust Basquiat. He was not on the right cocktail. I'll tell you that much.
No.
Okay, so this whole idea of psychedelics goes against the notion of kind of what a mother is, quote unquote, supposed to be like, right? Moms aren't supposed to be doing drugs. However, there's a huge trend of moms getting together, microdosing, and then sharing their experiences and feelings with each other. It's like a mom's night out, but with drugs. So research seems very promising. In a 2021 study, researchers found that microdosing decreased symptoms of depression and anxiety in both men and women.
Long term.
Okay. Because the difference is SSRIs don't change your brain chemistry permanently. Psilocybin changes, again, I'm like real into the science of this. Like I have done my research. Psilocybin changes the neural pathways, similar to meditation. So meditation changes the neural pathways.
And CBT therapy.
And so you are actually changing the way that your brain fires to which synapse to create new neural pathways that then that then stay even when you stop doing it. Whereas SSRI's benefits leave you once the half-life of that SSRI is out of your system, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you should always check with a medical professional to see if any drugs that you are currently on interact with the psilocybin or the ketamine or whatever it is that you're taking. Think about who is making the medicine, where it is grown, and who is benefiting from the sale. Now, I will have more details about this, and like different organizations that you can look at. But plant medicine has primarily been pioneered by people who are a minority people, Indians of various sorts, Peruvians, American Indians. And a lot of times now it's being taken away from them and the white man is profiting. So part of this thing about it being natural and being plant medicine is to respect its origin, respect where it's made, and to do it with intention. And so if you're really going down this journey and you're being really intentional about it, I'll put it in show notes, the resources of where you can check about what it is, who's profiting, like who's making the medicine. The idea of this, and it is a little hippy dippy, guys, is that the person that makes the medicine, that puts it into pill form, that's growing the mushrooms, all of that energy is a part of the plant. And that's
Is there scientific study to that part of it?
There not on mushrooms specifically, but there is scientific evidence to show like the vibrance of like people who sing to their food when they're cooking it, or food made with
or
oil.
like talking to plants in general.
Right. So they have done studies on that.
Not for this.
Not specific mushrooms.
Okay.
Correct. But mushrooms are a plant. So anyway, that's more of the hippie side of it, but it's interesting. And there's I'll put in the show notes some of these resources. Okay, so microdosing, this goes to the question you had asked, is subperceptual, which means you can't perceive it too much, and you should be able to go about your daily life unimpaired while microdosing. Okay, it's not the same thing as taking a higher dose, or what they call a hero's journey, to produce a psychedelic journey. However, working intentionally with any amount of medicine can bring up unexpected memories, feelings, and integration support can make a huge difference in how you benefit from it. Psychedelics have become more mainstream, but it's not without its dangers. Some people, and we'll talk about this, do have psychotic episodes after taking them. Not microdosing, but taking like the hero's journey of psychedelics. Psychedelics have an extremely low chance of lethal overdose, and there is a very little likelihood of addiction. As a result, they've been classified by experts as some of the least harmful recreational drugs, but that doesn't mean they aren't entirely without risk. Chance of psychosis is low. However, the risk is elevated for people who have a personal or family history of schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. Psychedelics and ketamine do raise blood pressure and heart rate, so people with heart conditions and uncontrolled high blood pressure, heart disease, and arrhythmias are advised not to take them. These drugs do alter brain activity, which could possibly cause a seizure if someone is already epileptic. Serotonin syndrome, which was the one I was the most concerned about, is a thing. So you do have to be careful if you are taking high doses of medication. I'm not talking about microdosing. I'm talking about hero's journey of psychedelics, and also taking an SSRI.
Oh, so don't combine.
You can microdose and combine, but you should not be taking like a hero's journey, like tripping out while on an SSRI.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because you can get serotonin syndrome. It's not like the percentage isn't that high, but
it's still a possibility.
But it's still a possibility. Doctors believe that taking psilocybin and ketamine could be of enormous value, but we are going to miss it if we're not mindful of the risks. Like it could be taken away from us by the government or whatever if we're not also mindful of these risks. So I have done quite a bit of study on this. Go ahead.
Really quick. I feel like we need to also say we are not medical professionals.
No.
We are simply relaying information that is readily available to everybody else to read. Take it with a grain of salt. We're just sharing something that Keri found of interest. And
it's also a mom trend right now. So it is a
mom trend. Yeah. Yes. We just want to make it very clear to all that we are not pushing mushrooms on anybody, nor giving you medical advice. That's all.
Right. Nor saying, be careful, you're going to have a psychedelic episode. We're just giving you the facts, ma'am. Just the facts.
Well, the facts according to these studies and this paper.
Right.
Not us.
Right.
That's all. I just wanted to make sure we were legally covered.
Yes. So I'm kind of a science nerd, and from my yoga and meditation stuff, dealing with trauma is like a really big part of my journey as an educator and a healer myself, as well as someone who has gone through trauma. And I find this really interesting. And just speaking from personal experience, I've noticed that my SSRIs are not really working for me.
Well, that's what they say is after a while they stop being as potent.
And I've tried different ones, and it was definitely like they saved my life in a couple of circumstances where I was just really in a hole and could not get out of it. But as of like right now in my life, I'm not in a hole, thank goodness. And the sort of the status quo was you just stay on them. Since you had been in 2 holes, you should probably just stay on them. But I sort of got frustrated with that mindset of just stay on them. And so have been talking to my medical doctor, my psychologist, and my psychiatrist about maybe not being on them. And my first foray into this was getting my medical marijuana card. And I've just noticed that taking small doses of marijuana have helped my anxiety more so than my SSRI has been doing.
Yeah.
Like microdosing weed, or whatever. And so, and I'm not saying I don't like to occasionally take
like
more
those
than a
mints
microdose of
that
weed.
you and I both have.
Yes.
Yeah, those mints. There's a mint that both of us have that's 2.5 grams, and it's half of an edible essentially. And this is not a mint that makes you feel loop-de-doo in any way. I equate it to a Xanax basically, in that when I'm feeling tense and because I don't smoke anymore and I just need something that's kind of gonna like relax me and I don't want to take a Xanax, and this I take this mint and it's
and it's
I'm
not
just chill. But I'm not high in any way. I'm just
now. Don't get
chill.
me wrong. I sometimes like to get high, but not.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But not. But this is like I'm just not having the anxiety. I'm not like looping. So
yes.
So anyway, if you're interested on this, I really recommend doing your research. Really, really, really doing your research. Like not just like dipping and diving. Like really do your research. Know about like serotonin syndrome. Talk to your doctor. Know the health risks. Also, sorry, have someone around that will support you in this journey, whether it's your partner, ideally also your therapist, but you should really not go at this alone. Even if you're microdosing, you should have someone that you should be able to talk to about this and process your emotions, whoever that might be. And yeah, check out our Patreon for more information.
Yeah, and I think, again, we're just relaying information. I am not on a microdosing journey of any kind, but I would like to say that I do think it's important for people to consider why things have been perceived why things have been deemed illegal and why things have been perceived not good for us. It's important to consider both sides, because sometimes it's not because they're not actually good. Sometimes it's because there's some underlying reason, underlying
taxation,
motivation, for the powers that be, and sometimes it really just isn't good for you. So really, it's important. I'm backing what you said, in that it's important to do your research and do your homework before you make a leap like that, because you really want to know your shit. And the last thing you want is to be in some kind of crazy altered state that you're really uncomfortable with and panic.
Yeah, or give yourself a seizure.
Because that's not going to help you. Yeah,
or whatever.
None of that's going to help you.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah.
So consider the source.
Oh,
am I Alec Baldwin?
Consider the source. Consider the source.
I know.
All right, can I go first? Hashtag swag bag? Okay.
Yes.
So I have 2. So one is this amazing flip book. I got it in the store, but I put the Amazon link. It'll be in our Amazon storefront. It's called the Mood Flip Book for kids. And basically, it's pictures. And then on the back of the picture is this is what's happening if you're feeling this way. And this is how you can get out of feeling this way. And it's basically like angry, content, happy, frustrated. And it shows a face, sort of like that pain scale face that they do at the hospital.
Yeah.
And then it says, you know, you're this if you're feeling this way. Here's what to do to get out of it. And Luna, it's really helped Luna because Luna is like a hotbed of emotions. And I've been trying to get her to name the more complex emotions rather than just saying, I'm happy, I'm sad, I don't feel good, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so this book is really good. And like at night we go, what is your face now? What is mommy's face? And so hearkening back to that article, it helps give you some of the social cues of what people are thinking and feeling. Right. The second one is I'm really deep into the over 40 makeup tutorials on TikTok.
Like, I love them. I love them.
Somebody mentioned this and it was 99 cents. So I figured, why not? I'm wearing it right now. Wet and Wild Nutty.
I love Wet and Wild.
9 cents.
Is it a brown? I can't really see.
Yeah, it's like a champagne-y brown.
Okay.
So
where'd you get it? Dollar Tree or like Duane Reade?
I got it at like Walgreens, Duane Reade.
Okay.
It's on Amazon though, if you want. So,
but it's probably not 99 cents.
It's still 99 cents Prime.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
They usually mark it up on there.
Nope, 99 cents Prime. So I've been having a problem where my eyeshadows all of a sudden look kind of like dusty on me. Like they don't look great. Eyeshadows that I've had forever, that I've always used that work, they look like dusty. And then I find a makeup tutorial literally about why does over 40 your eyeshadow look dusty? And I was like, yeah, girl, that's me. Like,
why is it?
It's just everything changes. The consistency of your skin changes. Things don't lay well.
So this is like a thing. I had no idea.
Certain kind of like metallic glitter doesn't look good.
Yeah.
All these different things. So this was one of the eyeshadows that they recommended. It like you want more of like a soft wash of color. They called it like a sunset rather than like these delineating eyeshadow trends that we're seeing. It's more like a soft wash of color. And so I got it and it did not disappoint. I mean, how could it for 99 cents?
I mean, literally, it's so cheap. Okay, my turn. So mine is this Beauty Pie Super Luminous Under Eye Genius Corrector. You know, I went on TikTok one time and was like,
what the fuck is Beauty Pie? Worst name ever.
It is a very bad name.
Bye, Miss a Beauty Pie.
I went on TikTok and was looking for, because I'm noticing my under eyes are hollowing and dark.
Yep.
And so I've been doing a lot of things to kind of fix it. And I have a lot of different things and I'll spread them out over
I've tried like 3 and they are not working.
I've had a great eye cream. I'll go into that. But for color corrector, for in terms of like lightening up my under eyes, this is the solution.
All right. Looks like I got to order something else.
So Beauty Pie, I think the woman who started it started some big beauty brand, and now it's escaping me which one it is, but like a very big beauty brand. And basically it's like a membership thing where you pay a membership.
Oh, I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
I mean, it's like an MLM. Basically, everything is an MLM.
It's not, but like it kind of feels that way. So you pay a membership to be part of it, and then you get like really high end. Oh, she founded Bliss.
Okay.
Spas.
But can I get that without it?
Yeah, so I did, but without it, it's really expensive, and they had like a 50% off code. So I ended up getting it for like, I think it was like $20 or something. And I don't know if that code is still good. So I don't know if Beauty Pie is the way to go, but I will tell you, I think you should jump through whatever hoop you need to jump through to get this shit, because it's really good. I haven't tried.
Who do I gotta fuck so I don't have to have a membership? You know what I mean?
Right. Like I don't know if other color correctors for under eyes are really good. I'm sure there's something at Sephora you can probably find, but this is the one I've been using. This is now my holy grail. I mean, I also know that this is going to last me for like 3 years.
I just bought 3 that I hate from like the drugstore, and I'm like,
really?
This is not doing a dent. Good. This is not doing a dent.
I try it before you. Like, next time
making a dent, not doing a dent. That's weird.
Next time I see you, I will bring it for you to try before you commit to it. But I really do think my only gripe with it is you do need to. So people put concealer over it. I think that's a lot, because then I look real. I guess I'm like not used to being light under my eyes, because then it's like shocking if I put other stuff under too.
You're like, hey, ghost.
I do set it with powder.
Yep.
But if I'm wearing like actual mascara, sometimes I get like a little diva eye on this eye, which is weird because I don't normally get that. I think it's just like the creaminess of the color corrector. But that's my only issue, and it's minor. And I'm willing to deal with it because it is fixing something. Look at this. I'm going to show you real quick.
What is that black triangle powder thing? I love that.
Oh, it's a powder puff from Amazon. Look at this,
into it.
Keri.
Oh,
can you see?
Yeah.
So I put it. I let it set, and then I take a fluffy eyeshadow brush. They're going to try and sell you a special brush. You don't need one. And you just you let it sit for a second, and you just lightly push and pull, very lightly.
Right.
That's it.
Oh my God. I'm going to need that. I'm going to need that. You know who you sounded like when you said, look at this, look at this. You sounded like Bethany Frankel. Look at this, look at this.
Please. And then this powder puff, I bought a multi-pack.
I love that triangle because mine is like a weird.
It's perfect for in here.
Perfect.
For in the corner of your eye. I have a few of them, but
you should put it on Amazon. Put it on Amazon.
I'll put this one on there. So I guess these triangle powder puffs that all the beauty influencers use on TikTok, I finally bought it, and it's worth the $7 for 12 or whatever.
I love it because I was just trying to do my makeup today, and it was the wrong shape.
No, and beauty blenders don't do it right. No. It's the only one that really gets under the eye and pats it in. So.
Love it. I'm here for it.
All right, guys. Have a good week. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.